And we have a bus that is St. Isidore Church in Quakertown. Has a bus going, seats 52. We have about 42 signed up. But anyone is welcome. You don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to be. You can just come, however you are. All right, and you're certainly welcome to come. For those who attend Mass, we have 7:30 Mass, and then after the Mass, we board the bus, and we are leaving about 8 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. There is information on the website, so if you have access to the computer, you can put it up right there. But basically, it's $20. I don't take money on the bus. I'm very firm about that because, I am also part of the walkers, and I don't like to carry money because it might get lost. Bring your lunch, and if we're busy, plenty of things on the bus: movies, talk, lunch, and we do visit the legislators. We have it set up that we'll be visiting Representative Fitzpatrick and Toomey. I'm still working on it, but we will have that. And if you have any particular issue that you'd like to ask about at that time, if you've never been before, they have what they call a Republican caucus room, which holds any number of people. And if you have a particular issue, you can ask the representative, senator at that time. There are other legislators that will be there as well. We return about 9:45. Remember the website. All the information is on the website. If you have any other questions, see me after the meeting, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. Thank you.
Did you mention that cost includes the lovely dinner at that buffet?
Yes.
That was the highlight.
Jamie knows.
After everything's over?
Yes. Jamie knows. She and a couple of her daughters went a couple of years ago. And there's a buffet dinner. It's called Cactus Woolies. It might be similar to, you're probably familiar with Country, what is it, Country Kitchens or whatever that other restaurant is called. It's similar to that. All you can eat, and good food, because if I say it's good, it's got to be good.
Yeah, it's part of the. It's a very reasonable cost, and it was a nice reward for my 2 teenage daughters and myself and the rest of us for standing out in the mud and the rain. The first March for Life we ever went on, it was a sea of mud and it was raining, but it was well worth it. So go and raise your voice for the unborn if that is an issue that you really support. Okay. There is a quick legislative update. Oh, something else coming up that I don't want you to forget. The primary, of course, is coming up in May. We are looking for people who are willing to serve in your local community as a committee person. If you have any interest in that, please let me know. You have to get, I believe, 10 names on a petition. It's 10 or 15 on a petition, and those petitions are circulated in a certain period of time between February 18th and March 11th. So if you have any interest in that, please talk to me about that, and I'll help you get set up with where you can get that form and that type of thing. Also this year, we have state committee positions open, and there are conservatives that are going to be running for those positions in the primary, and that's kind of important. We'll try to keep you updated as we get information by email. Check out the Precinct Project website. Precinct Project is a statewide organization that kind of spearheads this effort. Just one piece of legislation I wanted to update you on, because tomorrow the vote will be taken in committee on SB 999, the NDAA non-compliance bill that is in the state Senate right now. So that basically is saying that we in Pennsylvania should not be regulated by the NDAA because of the concerns with its infringement on our Fourth Amendment rights to be protected from being arrested without warrant. And there are significant concerns with some of the provisions in the NDAA, and I believe an email went out to our group already on that. If you're new to the group and you would like to get that information, let us know and we'll resend that out to you. But that vote is tomorrow, so if you haven't called yet, get on the phone tomorrow morning. Offices open at what, Sandy, 8 o'clock in Harrisburg, 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock, is it, Lisa? Okay. So after 9 a.m., hop on the phone, call your senator's office, ask them to support SB 999. Right now we have senators like Bob Mensch, who said he was in support of this bill, And just today, Lynn McLean called him, and now he's saying, well, I don't know that I'm going to support it because we might be, we might have the feds come in and prosecute us or whatever. Prosecute us? Really? He hasn't heard the 10th Amendment, I guess. But that's the concern right now, is that those who said they were going to support it are waffling. So check that out. Quickly, my daughter Rebecca is here. Do you want to just say a quick word?
Yeah.
For AFP. Rebecca is the field coordinator for Americans for Prosperity, and they are doing a compassionate conservative effort.
Yep. Hi folks, good to see you all again. Wow, please be a little taller. So we're basically collecting, I'm sure you've all heard of what's happened in Western Virginia with the loss of water due to the chemical spill. AFP is doing a collection of supplies, so we're collecting water, baby wipes, and baby formula that's been pre-made, as well as hand sanitizer, and also monetary donations. So I'll be in the back if you have any questions afterwards, and we're doing that through Thursday. I'm not sure if any of you live in the Souderton area, but we're also collecting at Calvary Church in Souderton from 5 to 7 tonight, so that wouldn't be applicable now, and then tomorrow night 5 to 7. So thank you.
We tried to get that word out to you. We did send an email out, I think, was it this morning or last night or something, but we kind of got word of it. It's an emergency situation, so they're trying to rush it. Just get, what help they can. And Calvary Church of Souderton is a great, big, huge, gigantic church down there in Souderton at the intersection of Old Bethlehem Road and 113. So it's easy to run down 309, come across on 113, take a left on 113, and it's out there just about a mile. So 5 to 7 tomorrow night, if you want to help out with that. Okay, just quickly, I want to give you kind of a preview of a new approach that our board has decided to take to help us as patriots to not only be educated as you come to our meetings, which we greatly appreciate your attendance always, but to take action. And to take action that we might be able to see actually, a benefit, or you might be able to see the results of that action. Sometimes when we act on these national issues, we all feel like, did that make any difference? Well, it doesn't mean we shouldn't take action and call our congressman or our U.S. senator. Whether it makes a difference or not, patriots are called to be responsible to make your voice heard. It's their responsibility what they do with it. It's our responsibility to make our voice heard. So we should still contact them, but it's hard to see the impact. But there are some issues that you can definitely impact on the local level. So what we are doing is we're forming what we're calling action groups. And right now we have one on Agenda 21, and Lisa's topic works right into that, sustainable development. We also have one on Common Core. We would love to have others, because there are other issues you can affect on the local level, like Second Amendment rights, perhaps even one that's focused on smart meters. We would need somebody to step forward and say, I'd be happy to lead a small group of folks who are really interested in that. What we're going to do is next month, excuse me, next month we are going to take at least half of our meeting to get these action groups into action. We're going to be coming to the meeting with information about the issue, with reports on what action people have taken and what the response from the local officials or whatever has been, as well as with some action that we can actually take in the meeting. So when you walk out of here, you feel like I've done something. Maybe it's writing a letter, maybe it's learning something that you're going to pass on to your local town council member or to your school board members or whatever it might be. But that is coming up. And I was going to have us kind of introduce our groups at this point, but I think I'm going to hold off on that, Kathy, until maybe after Lisa's presentation, because Lisa really does have a lot of material, and I know that's the main reason everybody came out tonight. But we're excited about this. If we just learn and learn and learn and go home and do nothing, we feel more and more and more frustrated, don't we? When you get all that input, it's all you know, negative so bad out there and gets worse and worse and worse. And if you're not doing something, that energy just, it frustrates you. You end up saying, I don't want to be, I don't want here anymore. You know, but if you're taking action, you're doing something that is an outlet, and it helps you to keep going, and it should encourage others to as well. So we're excited about that. Okay, our speaker for tonight, we're so excited to have Lisa Nancollas. Lisa lives in Lewistown, Pennsylvania, and Lisa, can you tell me just generally the area? Is that mid-Pennsylvania?
I'm very close to Penn State. I'm south of Penn State.
Close to Penn State, so a good couple hours, 3 hours drive from here?
3.
Yeah, about 3 hours. So we really appreciate her coming all that distance to be with us tonight, and she has to go back tonight, I presume. So we really appreciate that. She is the coordinator for Mifflin County Tea Party Patriots. Actually, you should really call Lisa's number and listen to her voicemail message because she's involved in so many things. She just, it's pretty funny. I enjoy that. But she's the coordinator for Mifflin County Tea Party Patriots, and Ed here with her is assistant in that capacity, assistant coordinator. So we appreciate having Ed as well. Lisa is a registered nurse with a bachelor's degree from Penn State University. Working as a nurse and reviewing medical records, she uncovered healthcare fraud that was linked to a political figure. Her experiences led her to become involved with the Tea Party movement. I'd love to hear that story someday. You know, it takes a person of courage to speak up when you see something going wrong, doesn't it? And we're thankful for everybody who does. Lisa is one of the Pennsylvania state coordinators for Tea Party Patriots and has experience starting 912 groups and tea parties. She is the coordinator for the Stop Smart Meter Coalition in Pennsylvania. She is one of the coordinators for the Healthcare Compact Alliance for Pennsylvania. She is part of the team to stop Common Core in Pennsylvania. As I said, this is a very busy lady, so we really appreciate her time. Lisa has time to enjoy 3 dogs and her family, and enjoys spending time also with the people in her church. So, Lisa, thank you so much for coming to speak with us.
I appreciate everybody being here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No? Okay, can you hear me now? Oh, thank you. You can hear me. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. This is wonderful, and I'm glad to see so many people. And I think I might recognize you. You look familiar, so later we'll talk. I don't know, you just do. So this is, I really appreciate this, and I'm glad to be here. And I just need to tell you, belonging to Tea Party Patriots as a state coordinator, can you hear me? If you need any of us to come and talk to you, it is free of charge. We cannot charge as a state coordinator to come and talk to you. So anytime you want anybody to come to a group and talk, just let us know. I want to tell you that we have about 63 leaders in Pennsylvania on smart meters. So I encourage you and I would appreciate any one of you stepping up and helping us. And if Jamie doesn't mind, I did put a tablet on the back, and there's a tablet on the back. Thanks. There's a tablet on the back table. If you sign, please sign your name, or please print your name in your email. If you don't have email, we do have a call list for people. We will call you. But if email is better, if you have email and you want to sign up, you want to help us, I will get in touch with you. Once every 1 or 2, every other month, we have a phone call. We update everybody by email, but then we also have a phone call to talk to people, to tell them what's going on with smart meters and what is our next step. So we really need people to help us get these bills through that I'll go over later, and to stop these smart meters. So, tablet in the back when you leave, please sign up. I will get in touch with you, and I would appreciate it. The other thing is, I'm just really curious before I start, how many of you have not smart meters, have analog meters in your house? Your electric meters are in your house. You have it inside your house? Yeah. Okay. I wanted to show this movie tonight because it starts out with somebody having their analog meter in their house, and the electric company breaks down the door to put in their smart meter, and they did not knock on the person's door. The person heard somebody banging and breaking into the basement, and he's in his basement videotaping them breaking down the door to put in their smart meter. And he's videotaping the whole thing. Anyway, we're not going to be able to show that, but I'm going to give you this movie. I will tell you it is very sad at the end, so bring some Kleenexes. Very, very sad. Smart meters are being fought all over the United States. The gentleman who is producer of this movie is in California, and actually, I don't know if there's any liberals in here, but he's a liberal. And him and I have arguments on other issues, but we definitely agree we don't want our electric bills to go up, and we don't want the government in our house. So I'm going to give you this give you this videotape, and you show it at another time, or whatever you want to do with it. It is a wonderful, wonderful movie, and I paid $20 for it. So, and it's takebackyourpower.net if you want to get one. I think after you see this movie, you're going to want to get one. Give it to somebody else. So please share. Okay, you forgot this. Okay, I'll just quickly say it. I belong to constitutingamerica.org, and they are having a contest. K through 12, all the way up to seniors 65 and older. They're asking you to create poems, drawings, essays, short songs, short films, speeches. Go to constitutingamerica.org and find out if everybody's qualified, but they tell you what they expect from everybody in every category. What I will tell you is college students, and I think some grade school students, will be doing the song and the short films, and they will get a trip to California. And I don't promise me about this, but I heard it was Justin Bieber. Why? I don't know. Because I don't think sorry about that, I don't think he's into America. And it might be whatever the girl does with their tongue, it might be her too, that your kids will get to see. Why? I don't know. But anyway, it's Constituting America. And, the other thing is, and you live around Philadelphia, but they did take the winners to Philadelphia, and they had a free trip. So they're going to do something with the younger kids that'll be different. I think the older people are still going to go back to Philly. So it's up here. We can pass it around. And it's in the back if anybody wants one. Okay. Okay, so I did tell you that we do have about 64 people on our team. And we will ask for any other help. Okay. So I want to tell you that now they're called, smart meters are called spy and fry meters. Okay? And there's some handouts on the back of why they're called fry meters. So you will see there's a list of all the health issues associated with these meters. So please take one with you. If you don't have one, I will get you a copy of one. Email me and I will get you a copy. There's also a handout that you can talk to your legislators or hand out to your neighbors information about smart meters. That is not all-inclusive on that list. So hopefully you'll pick up some tips today and some extra information. I want to show you, right here, if you can see this, right there, okay. That's an electric aggregator that you're going to see up on the telephone poles. This is your smart meter. Okay, and Ed, can I tell them what you want to do, Ed? Ed has a gun and wants to shoot all of them. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. What does SMART mean? Surveillance, monitoring, radio frequency, technology. There's tons of different names. I just wanted to show you some of the names: satellite monitoring, remote tracking. Okay. What is included in the SMART puzzle? The SMART grid, and there's also a law in DC. Well, they're working on a law to outgrid this. Oh, thank you. Okay. They're working on a law to stop the SMART grid. So be looking for that, because I'm going to send out that information when it comes up, and they're asking people to go to DC to stop the SMART grid. But our smart meter is included on the smart grid. Smart electric meters, smart gas meter, well, gas meters will turn into smart gas meters. I have a smart water meter. Unbelievable, but I will tell you that story. I'm unhappy about it. Smart appliances, electric cars, turbines. You have smart adapters to your electric outlets if your appliances are not smart. There will be clips on wells, which in our area they started to do that. They went to farmers and told them that they're going to clip their well and draw down their water. They're going to be charged for their well. The other thing we have a problem with is clips on our air conditioning. Electric company went around and told everybody, they knocked on the door and they said, would you like your electric bill to go down? It was during the summer. Your air conditioning is running and we can have your electric bill go down. People said yes. And when they said yes, they put a clip on the air conditioning. So the air conditioning, the fan was running. People called, said, hey, you know, come on and fix our air conditioner. And the repairman came out and said, do you have a clip on it? The reason being is, they said, take that clip off. It's 90 degrees in my house. He said, I can't. You have to call the electric company. Well, people did not know that when they said, do you want a cheaper electric bill, they were going to clip it. And then after it runs a certain amount, it turned off. They thought there was something wrong with their air conditioning. So be aware of that. Also, please be aware of somebody calling you and offering you $100. Would you like a smart meter for $100? Or we'll give you $100 if we can change your electric meter. Or you'll use less air conditioning. Please be aware of that because that's over by the Pennsylvania-Ohio border. That has started over there. It's going to make its way over here. I can see that. People are going to fall for the $100. Oh yeah, give me $100. They don't know what they got themselves into. So here's another, also what they look like. Installation. Okay, the purpose of this smart grid, this is what they're saying, not what I'm saying, uses digital technology to improve reliability, security, and efficiency of the electric system. Well, that's a myth. We'll debunk that. Covers a broad array of electrical system capabilities and services. Yes, it does. It's going to include your smart card that they're going to force you to buy. It enables persuasive communication and information back and forth between you, the electric company, and the person who's going to turn down your electric and turn off your electric. The intelligence center. Okay. So, smart grid definition, the term refers to a distribution center that allows for a flow of information. That's really important. Back and forth flow. Please remember that because that's what you're going to use when you talk to your representatives or anybody who tells you that your electric bill is not going to go up. The customers meter two directions, both inside the house to thermostats and appliances, and to other devices, and back to the utility. Right there I'm going to tell you, they'll tell you, oh no, your electric bill will not go up. That meter is constantly searching and searching for the next meter, causes your electric bill to go up. Plus, you receive electricity when they're talking to you, which they will. The grid the grid will tell you. The grid will talk to you. You have a little thermostat in your house. It will talk to you every time it talks to you. Every time it upgrades, the grid. Every time it's taking in information back and forth, you're being charged for that. That's why your electric bill is going to go up. And they'll tell you, oh, no. They don't tell you that they're updating the grid constantly, and also they're telling you every few seconds the temperature in your house, how much electric you've been using. So don't let them tell you that. Yes?
When you say telling you mean that they're just communicating with this device in your house?
Yes. And then they'll tell you, they'll also be able to tell you on your computer, or you're in France, they're going to tell you in France, you're using this much electricity, we'd like to draw you down. And they don't even have to ask you to draw you down, they can just do it on their own. I forgot to tell you that in Pennsylvania, if you want to look it up, It's HB 2200, required by law, we must have a smart meter. And if you looked up Act 129, you will also see from the PUC, we have to have a smart meter. 3 ways to get them, so be alert on this. One way is new construction. So if your house or your building is new construction, you'll get a smart meter. 2, now this we found out on our own. You know when you get inserts in your electric bill? Oh, would you like to change your electric bill? We will give you, well, you'll be set for 1 year for a certain rate. Don't take it. Don't take it, because what happens is you're set for that 1 year and you get a smart meter. So the next few years, you're going to have that rate of whatever's on the stock market. So don't take that. That was the second way. And the third way is if your smart meter, if your analog meter is 15 years older, they'll come to your house, knock on the door. If they come to your house, knock on your door, you say no thank you. I can't tell you what to say. If you want it, go ahead and get it. But what I say no thank you. They'll usually put you on the bottom of the list. The other thing we do is we have smart meter signs in our yard. I'll show you them. We also bought stickers that say no smart meters. That tells them when they come up to your house, immediately know if they try to step onto your property and give you that, we say we're calling the cops. So we've had, I will tell you quickly because I have a smart water meter. He came, knocked on my door. He said to me, I saw your no smart meter sign. He said, but I need to tell you, I need to fix your water meter. I said, is it smart? He said, I gave you a smart water meter last year. I said, you're kidding me. He said, no. He said, but there's problems with the meter, and we need to fix it. And you and 200 people have smart meters already, smart water meters. They need to be fixed. And I said, are you going to tell me my house may be burned down or something? He said, well, that's a possibility. I said, okay, well then, come and fix it. So he went downstairs and he said, and I accidentally turned this upside down. So I don't know what the hell he was doing, excuse my language. But he's like, I'm sorry, I turned this upside down. I said, well, just fix what you need to fix and leave. So they do. You can turn them down. You can say no. I didn't know that last year, but he told me. He saw that sign. I can turn him away. So just, if you don't want it, you tell them no, you don't want it, put up a sign so when they come to your yard, they already see it, it tells them back off. Yes?
I might be getting ahead of you, but what's the communication path?
Oh, we're going to get to that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I just remembered this, and I don't want to forget that part. Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, so you'll see that this is, well, let me tell you, if you go to smartgrid.gov, you will see all this. And you will think this is, oh, wonderful, until you really catch what they're telling you. Okay, so what's going to happen is the information is going to go between the utility and its customers, and it'll go all along the line throughout the United States, in Canada, and Mexico. So your information will be shared. Mexico, Canada, and the United States will all be sharing information. Okay, this is also on SmartGov. If you see right there, right, that's the home area. That's sensing everything in your house. Also on there are going to be windmills and consumer engagement. Yeah, it's only going to be their engagement. Okay. They're going to tell you. Go down to here. More pieces, the operations center and distribution intelligence. And your smart cars are going to go in your garage and be plugged in. And if you go to this site, you will actually see this. They will actually show you this. There it is, sensing everything around there. Sensing everything. What happens is, this is going to connect to another house, sense another house, go on to another house, go on to another house. So it's constantly sensing for another meter, charging your electric bill. Oops, I want to do that. Okay, also you see the smart car, so all smart appliances. Then it tells you 9 o'clock, they're going to allow you to use your laundry. You can do your laundry at 9 o'clock at night. I'm sorry, I go to bed at 8:30, but I'm not doing my laundry. If you don't do it when they tell you, you're going to pay an astronomical amount of money. You're going to pay the prices that were on the stock market the day before or that day. It will be around certain times. It'll be like we pay 8 cents kilowatt hour. We're going to be paying 9 cents. So it'll go up anyway, and then a lot more if you do your laundry when they tell you you're not allowed. Okay. You can see it sensing, looking for another meter. There you go. There's your home area network all around your house. Okay.
Why is it looking for another meter?
Because it goes from 1 meter. The idea is it goes from 1 meter to the next meter to the next meter to the next meter. And then it might be 3 houses, it could be 5 houses, and then you're going to have the aggregate. So it's always sensing because it's going to read, constantly read.
So it's a mesh radio?
It's a radio frequency wave.
It's a mesh radio.
Yeah. What do you mean by?
Well, that's when you have one radio that is it's a master-slave peer-to-peer relationship. So you have one radio that communicates with another radio,
Yeah.
and then you put another one out, leapfrogs to the
Right,
next, to the next.
exactly.
And then
Yeah.
it finally makes its way back
Right.
to a transponder.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
And they say the last house is going to get the worst of it. So the health problems at the last house is going to be even worse than the rest of the houses.
Well, he's closest to the transponder.
Yeah. And those radio frequency waves that come out of the smart meter are going to be constant. So it's not like you have a microwave, you turn it on and off, and that's the end of it. You don't see it till nighttime. These are constant.
It just jams.
Well, yeah. Well, oh good, I'm glad you mentioned that. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, there is somebody, that's true, there is somebody who just came out with a jammer. When I get the information, I will let you know. Okay, because there is somebody who just came out with that. And somebody was giving a talk on that in a different state. I will find out about that. So I'm glad you
You gotta
reminded me.
sign up, right, Lisa?
What's that?
You should sign up if you
Yes,
want your
please.
information on the
Yeah.
back.
You can see here the idea is the electric company wants to save money. They don't want to spend money, so they're going to turn off here power plants, and then there's the houses that are going to be turned off. Okay. There's the they're going to have. They'll be able to tell what house, where you live, what you're using at any specific time. My refrigerator will be a smart refrigerator with its own number, and even if it's made by the same company, your refrigerator will have a different number. They will be able to tell. They have this down to a science that they're going to actually be able to tell when you leave your house and what street you go down, because you're going to be plugging in your car. All right, there we go. You can see some more of it. All right, so let's get to the, okay, so there's a home area network, a local area network, and a wide area network. So home area, meter to customer, and your appliances, then meter to the electric aggregator, and then the aggregator to the utility office and back.
So wait a
Yes.
minute. If
Yes.
these things can pick up your Wi-Fi signal,
Yes, they pick up everything.
then who's to say it's not picking up what you're emailing
Well, yes.
on your computer?
That's right,
And
and
the NSA could use this.
that's right, yes, that's right. It's going to pick up everything, including for people who have baby monitors. If you notice, sometimes you can hear your neighbor's baby monitor. Yeah, people down the street, they're going to be able to pick up what you're saying in your own house. Because these things can flip up and down your doors, your garage doors. They can interfere with pacemakers. They can interfere with everything. Yes?
It's a 900 megahertz spread spectrum signal, so it channel hops all the time. And it will affect other 900 megahertz, like a cordless phone
Yes.
in your house. Not a cell phone, but a cordless phone.
Phone. Yes.
And other things that fall under the FCC regulations, under 1 watt.
There you go. You said it perfectly. Thank you. So let's keep going here. All right, so goal of telecommunications is to provide information for billing. I don't believe that. It's just another way of controlling us. And I want to tell you that solar power will also be on there, and windmills will also be on there. As I said, dynamic control of your peak loading. They'll check your refrigerators, your heating, anything else, your heaters, anything else that you have. And Texas Instruments actually says this. Complete information would include power line communication to electric meter, low wireless communication, and to other meters. So they're not hiding this. They just don't think that we're smart enough to know what they're talking about. Okay, this is what they say, that they're going to get a benefit, reduced cost for customers that has not been seen, Reader meter costs, okay, so somebody loses their job. Operating and maintenance costs, we'll be paying that. Of course it's going to be good for the electric company because you're paying for the upkeep. Not only that, please look at your electric bills. It should say, we pay 92 cents. How much do we pay? You're already paying for a smart meter you don't have on your electric bill. I want to get that money back. So after we fight getting rid of these bills, I'm fighting for the money back that I don't care if it's $5, I'm still paying for it. Because if I held you up and said, right now, give me $5, and I tied down your hands, that's robbery. So they're taking money from us that they never even asked us about. That's robbery. I want my money back. Okay. So that's the next fight. The goal of electric company, again, is Obama's green agenda. This would allow appliances to be turned off during periods of high electrical demand. So you got to think about this, because what if there's a problem in another country? What if Canada has a problem and they want to give power to Canada and they need to turn us off? People aren't thinking about this. There are natural disasters.
When Irene went through New York City,
yeah,
we lost electricity down here, not because of the storm, because
they
Bloomberg shut down the nukes up there,
yeah,
and they were stealing our electric because they're more important in us country.
Well, see, it happens, and it's going to happen continuously. And with these smart meters, you're saying, okay, you're giving them the right to do this to you. You're going to be given real-time information on constantly changing electric rates off the stock market. They will tell you every second of every day what the price is. That's costing you money because electricity that's being used that you're paying for. And you can get this on smart grid provisions. The 110th Congress had a look at smart meters. So this is on the web. Congress has to report, or this report has to be twice a year, or I think it's twice a year now, and they want to know not only what's going on in Washington, D.C., but they're tracking every state and anybody that's causing them interference of getting this grid up. So be forewarned, you're on the list. You're pretty ready there anyway. Okay. The electric company believes it allows for planning and operating during peak demand, new technologies, programmable thermostat connected to the person's house. That we have a new air conditioner. They wanted to give me a programmable thermostat. I will tell you, I made him go back out and get a really cheap one. And he said, but this will tell you everything. I said, all it's going to tell me is that you're going to be able to shut down my electricity. I said, get it out of the house. And I'm really sorry because I was very forceful. I said, I will go up and get the gun and I will shoot it. And he knew I was serious and I meant it. I really meant it. He said, I will leave now and I will go get the other one. And that was fine. He could give me the cheaper one. The cheaper one doesn't tell you everything. It just gives you the heat. Okay. I am very forceful because I don't want it and I don't believe that I should have it. They think that it's going to improve reliability, operating efficiency, resiliency to threats, and impact on the environment. Well, let's go to the threats. I don't think so for the fact that they can break into it. 150,000, I have it on the sheet, that was California. They were hacked into and lost their personal information over this because they're on smart meters and they were fighting it. But that's what happened. So a threat, and if you've seen Cheney, or was it Dick Cheney? I think Dick Cheney was concerned on Fox that they were going to break into his pacemaker. That was because the grid can break into your pacemaker through a smart meter. Because smart meters will affect your pacemaker. You have a PCA pump, anything with electrical current in your body will be affected by these smart meters.
Yeah, there you go.
So let's keep going here. True objective, control your lifestyle, change your behavior, and enhance the green agenda. Population control is the other one. Okay, the carrot, the stick, the carrot, so please be careful. The carrot is a program, this is the carrot. They're going to give you a program which the utility company offers you a lower rate in return for permission. And the stick is to turn off your water and electricity for short periods of time. And this allows to reduce peak demand. So that's it. When they ask you if you want, they can give you $100. If it was me, I'd say no. Get out of my house. My mother is 88 years old. She gets a call from the electric company all the time for smart meters. She yells and she screams at them and she hangs up. So I love it. She calls me. They called me again, but I gave them hell. So she goes, I don't understand why. What are they trying to do to us? Because, you know, I can't tell you what my mom says, but back in the day, she said, we would just get rid of those people. She's an old Italian lady. Nah, they don't take anything to say. Drop them in the river in the cement, and that's the way it goes. And my mother goes, hey, and I'm telling the truth, there's clicking on the phone. She goes, I think somebody's listening to my conversation. I said, I think they are too. Yeah, I do. So, in the old days, they didn't tolerate anything. They would never tolerated this. Okay. Increased cost to consumer. Price of time. Price is based solely on a peak versus non-peak. Real-time pricing, cost of power to the electric company, market-based. Increase in cost, though it'll be advanced that day or the day before or the next day's stock market prices. Also, there'll be a huge cost in some regions. The usage charge for radio frequency band is more money. In places in Colorado, they can't even put in the grid because they can't get through the mountains. So they're going to charge them if they want to do it. They're going to charge them more money for the radio frequency band. So they're going to even pay higher prices. So remember that these are things that when they ask you, your representatives, you can talk about this. These are points to talk about. You can say, no, you know, they're all telling you something that's a myth. Because I was up in Harrisburg yesterday and I'm like, really? They told you that? They lied to you. So if you're educated enough to talk to them, oh, you'll look good. Okay, so also energy studies, there's no savings. No savings whatsoever on these. More cost to consider. Remember, tell them it's constantly searching for another meter. Updates and upkeep is continuous on the grid. Continuously communicating causes an increase in your electric bill and more radio frequency rates. Continuously. Okay, because somebody said to me, what they said was, because you're going to get this, they said, Mike Reese, who actually had these bills to stop the smart meter, I was so shocked, said to me, well, the electric company said they weren't getting paid right because now it's fair for them. I said, fair for them? Well, yeah, now it's constant and it's fair for them. I said, it's constant. Oh, yeah, it's constant, but we're getting charged for that constant. And he said, really? They didn't tell me that. Of course not. So when they tell you this, you tell them it's constant and you're going to be charged for it. And continuously updating uses electricity. I don't know why they don't get it. Cost to consumer, a load control program, a program in which the utility company offers, again, a lower rate for having permission to turn off your air conditioner or water heater for a short period of time by remote control. This allows the utility to reduce peak demand and obviously causes us a lot of control and a lot of convenience. As I said, I'm not doing my laundry in the middle of the night. Yes?
Is the idea of not having peak demand so they don't have to build more generators?
Yeah. They want to be able to get rid of power plants. And they don't want to build any. It's under Obama's green agenda. You know, shut down power plants, shut down coal plants, and shut down everything. That's the idea behind it. Now, I didn't update this slide. This was a couple months ago, so I'm sorry about this. Progress towards smart meter cost is $6.1 trillion overall for the grid. 29 states have renewable energy. I list them there. 14 states are promoting advancement of smart meter technology in the grid. Obstacles for the smart grid. I thank God for obstacles. Different areas of the country have distinctions. Different distinctions with regard to their generation resources and their business economy. So, like, who is it? Walmart and Penn. Walmart owns, you go there, Sam's Club. Sam's Club and Walmart denied smart meters. They said that smart meters, they were concerned for the health of their customers. And they denied them, and they told them they already tried to save energy. So some businesses, at least those two, are waking up to this and saying no. And then other distinctions are hills and valleys and buildings. Okay. Topography, as I said, Colorado's Colorado's too astronomical. But Lower Colorado is starting to put them in. So don't move to Colorado because you probably can't afford your electric bill, or at least Lower Colorado. I talked about the law, the progression of law. Act 129 of 2008, HB 2200 was signed into law in 2008 under Randall. What happened was, I think you need to know the history of this. Texas Instruments and a few other smart companies decided they were going to try to make these smart meters. But what happened is they asked for investors. They needed to pay back the investors. And who were they? You know, they didn't have the money to pay back the investors. They went to the federal government. And the federal government, some states said, no, no, we think this is ridiculous. But guess what? Randall said, oh, sure, we'll take the money and we'll bill it to our customers. And they won't know since 2008 they've been billed for a smart meter. A procurement charge. Oh, they won't know about it. So what happened was, Randall took the money, and we're paying back the investors, and we have smart meters. So that's how that all started. There's lots of reading on that. It drives you crazy. Under the Public Utility Code, as I said, smart meters provided upon request. If a customer pays for it, that is when you call and you say you want to change your electric company, and you want a discount for, you know, like you get that little information in the mail, and it comes in your electric bill. Oh, you can save so much money. When you change, you just gave them customer consent to give you an electric bill after the rate that you locked in. Okay, so beware of that. Yes?
In my last electric bill, there was a notice in there that said if we do not select another provider, they will select it for us.
Then you know what I would do? I would call them and ask them why. Say you don't want another.
Just say you're going to be market rate.
No.
I said market rate. I have PK.
I have PK.
Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you to do. You call them and you say to them, am I going to get a smart meter? And if they say no, you're not going to get a smart meter, but you're going to get a different meter. One, that different meter still gives off radio frequency wave, and we still consider it a smart meter. So tell them no, you do not want a smart meter. Tell them no. They'll put you on the bottom of the list, and that will hold you off for a while. Say no. And then refusesmartmeters.org has a letter on there you can copy and send to your electric company. It was written by an attorney. You can copy that, send it certified, so you know that they received it, and it says, do not put a smart meter on my property. Okay? Those things have been helping. Things have been helping. So you call them and you ask them, is this a smart meter? And I know they're going to say, oh, no. And you say, no, you know what? I don't believe you. And you tell them, say, no, don't want a smart meter. And then, if you even about the fires, remember the fires that they've been causing? So they call people and they say, oh, no, it doesn't cause any fires anymore. That's a lie, because the fires are from like hot sockets, or if you have your house might be a little older, or say your wires coming out of your house are dirty or bad. Well, if you think about this, did they come and change your wires in your house? No. So they must be able to still catch fire. So say to them, this is what we also say, are you going to pay for the damage of the fire? And they'll say, oh no. We'll say, I'm holding you liable. If you give me a smart meter, I'm holding you liable for the fire that's going to be caused in my house. So you got to outsmart them. You got to put everything down, because they're going to say everything, and put a list down and go through everything. So call them and tell them you don't want a smart meter, and tell them and ask them, say, if I get a smart meter and it causes a fight, I'm holding you responsible. And then tell them, I don't believe it because even if it says not smart meter, it's still giving off radio frequency waves. Which this movie is really good because in this movie, the lady says to this guy, he drives up, and he says, the lady says, okay, he says, well, there's somebody hiding, right? And they're videotaping this. And so the lady calls and says, I forget what she actually says to the guy, but he comes and he gives her a meter, and she goes, is this a smart meter? He goes, oh no, it's not a smart meter. It doesn't say it's a smart meter. No, you didn't say you want. You said no smart meter, so I didn't bring you a smart meter. So he hooks it up, and he gets in his car, but there's like townspeople there, and the person that's hiding comes out and has I forget what they're called, but they'll tell if you have pulses, pulse, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So what are they called?
Radiation.
Pulses. Yeah. The machine that'll check it. So the guy runs out and he holds it up and it goes beep, 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 showing that it's really a smart meter. So they surround the car and they're like, you lied to us in front of all these people. It's really a smart meter. So, when they tell you it's not, be forewarned that it possibly is. I believe more so it is than it's not. So they say to you, oh, we won't give you one. We're just going to come out and give you a different meter. Don't trust them. Okay, but I'm going to show you some of the things in here that we have done. Okay, so the other one is if you're new building, so if you have a new house or new building, you're going to get one. And according to depreciation schedule, not to exceed 15 years, you'll get a new one. Okay. You'll get a smart meter. Let's see. I think that's the same. I think I was trying to just reiterate that. The House of Legislation that we have is Mike Reese. He's out towards Pittsburgh. He wanted to amend the Title 66 of Public Utility Code. Now, I did give you information on House Bill 906. I gave you a little handout that I got from yesterday that 906 was amended. So hopefully everybody got one. That was customer consent to share smart meter information. Because on there it said that the government or any third party could get your information, so he was writing this to stop that. So yesterday they amended the bill, and the bill says, you have a copy of it. This was added, and the PUC added this. And one I can see, I'm happy, I don't mind, but the other ones I do. It says, notwithstanding the foregoing customer consent shall not be required when, one, the information is released to comply with the subpoena or order issued by the court or regulatory agency. Okay, so they want a subpoena to get your information. All right. The information is released on a confidential basis in the context of administrative proceeding involving customer complaint. Okay, so you have a complaint. They need to look at your bill. Come over to your house and look at your meter. Fine. I understand. The information is released in an aggregate form. And that means when all of our information is released together. I think about that. When would that occur that they would release all our information together? Because what I've been told is there's nowhere to dispose of this information, and it will actually come out in paper. Well, okay, so if all of our information is in the garbage can together or in a building together, they're still going to be able to have some sort of connection with us, right? Because they're going to know where we live. That is scary. I was not happy about that. And the other one is there is an emergency situation involving imminent threat to public health or safety.
There's no such thing as public. It's a fictitious word.
Okay.
There is no public. There's only individuals.
What do you mean? Well, we are.
But the aggregate,
yeah.
What they call the aggregate makes the public. But that's.
Yeah, so there, because him and I have guns in our house, and I don't know, okay, say we have cars, we store guns in the cars, I don't know. The issue is, you're right, the issue is that the privacy of what we have, what they think our guns are public safety hazard. So I don't like that. That really bothers me. And I know that somebody was, their house, did you hear about the tomato guy? You didn't probably hear about the tomato guy, because I'm not sure what state that this is. He grown tomatoes, and he had a smart meter, and because his lights were on too long, in one certain section of his house, they broke in, because they thought he was wheat. Yeah, they thought he was growing dirt. So, you know, I don't like that. I don't like that ending of it. I just don't like that. But what we were told was, Representative Reese didn't like it either, but we were told we were making headway. Because last year at this time, when we had a hearing on these bills, they wouldn't even look at us. It was horrible. We got up there, Reese had the consumer agency for public consumer agency. It was horrible. He changed his testimony. We think he was paid off. It was just bad. So the fact that even though we don't like this bill, it came up, was a huge success because they are listening to us. To actually get them to now vote on this and it's going to go into committee, this was huge. We might have not won this, but they know that we're watching them and we're out there working hard. And I was told by Reese that they know we're there and they're scared. So we need to keep on pressuring them and pushing them. And so the other two bills that are in the House are to repeal, to install a smart meter for all customers. And if you want to know about that one, everybody knows Dick Morris, right? Kicked off lawsuits. Okay. Well, he is a good guy. He has been fighting these. So I was talking to him one day, and I said, do you have any specifics for us? We're fighting it in Pennsylvania. We need your help. He said the only way to get rid of it is to add that in there, to repeal it completely. You have to completely repeal the bill because the other one just says to opt out. So we feel bad that somebody might want a smart meter, but they're invasive. And so we put in the bill to completely get rid of it. You have to repeal the bill. So we're pushing that repeal the bill, and Reese did a nice job. He did add that for us because we had talked to him.
So
Yeah.
HB 899 is the bill to repeal the whole thing?
Yes. Yep.
The whole thing is semantic.
No. Well, it would repeal. You wouldn't have a smart meter, and the people who have a smart meter could get rid of them. And in there, they have to tell you. They have to either call you or send you a letter that if this passed, that you can have it removed from your house. Okay, so they do. There were stipulations that we put in there to make people, because they didn't tell you that you were getting a smart meter. They passed it without anybody knowing about it. So now we want people to know that they can get rid of them when this passes. Yeah.
Who's behind this 88, the repeal bill? What legislators?
Mike Reese out of Pittsburgh. He's the one who introduced it. If you go online, there's tons of them that are signing on it. They are signing it. They don't know why they're signing it. They just know that something's wrong with it. They really don't.
Do we pay them money?
Well, can we go? Oh, thank God you brought that up. But you have Godshaw, right?
Yeah.
Some people do. Godshaw is our problem. He's our big problem.
Oh, yeah.
And we couldn't figure out why he's our problem, and I hope nobody is related to him in here.
Did you meet him?
What's that?
You met him?
Godshaw?
Yes.
Oh, we don't like each other. Yes. Oh, yes. We've had almost to fisticuffs.
Oh, my God.
And not only me, but a bunch of other people. His son-in-law works for PICO.
Of course.
Yes, of course. There you go. That's right. That's right. And he took, how much money did he take from electric companies?
Around $13,000.
$13,000.
That's online, you can look that up.
Yeah, you can look that up. But I got to tell you, the worst of it is, my state senator is Jay Corman, and Jay Corman took a lot of money. when we first found out about these, we went to talk to him, and he got red in the face, and he said, I'm so sorry for signing on to this. I was told that it was going to save you money. Okay, so we're like, yes, he realizes. Bad thing to do, really bad thing to do. So recently, we talked to him, and he goes, well, you know, I don't think they're such a bad idea after all.
He's paid
$46,000
from 6 different electric companies.
They're brain dead. They're all brain dead.
I'll tell you in a minute. When we get out here, I can get that for you. Yeah, he took a lot of money from the electric companies. So with him, we have big plans for him, and he's heard about them. We have put up signs. We even put up signs in God Shop area. We have a sign for him that says, and it's huge, it's going to say, Jake Corman, would you give your child a cigarette? Because smart meters are linked to leukemia, they're linked to problems with children. Well, we had somebody over to visit who signed our bill for a resolution to keep our guns. We want to keep our guns in our town. So I said to the person, go over and see Jake Corman. Well, he must have told him that we have this huge sign because Jake Corman is coming to visit us next week. Very good. And we wrapped one of these up, and we went to his office, and we gave him one. So I called his office. Well, they called me, and they said, Jake Corman wants to come to your meeting. I said, that is fine. I said, remember, tell him, I'm giving him heads up. We're going to ask him about smart meters. So she said, did you drop anything off to him? I said, yes, we dropped a videotape off to him. And she said, she said, where did you go? I said, in town to John. I dropped it off at John. And she said, I'm sure John watched it. I said, I dropped it off to John. I did not vote for John. John is his secretary. I said, he should have better watched this because he's going to be in trouble if he did not. And I said, I did not vote for John. I voted for Jake. And I expect him to answer our questions. And she didn't say too much more after that. And then that was it. I think she was shocked. So we are going to give these, we gave these to some legislators. We'll be passing out more. If you want to buy one and give it to your legislator, great thing to do. I'd appreciate it. I gave one to my legislator. Carrie Benninghoff is also pushing these bills through. Carrie Benninghoff is our representative, he's not a senator. He is trying to get these through the Health Committee because the Consumer Affairs Committee was bought out. Earlier last year, they got to the Consumer Affairs Committee, and so, as I said, they went nowhere, especially with Gotcha. But this year, this one, though 906 actually went through the committee. But we're thinking of putting these two bills into the Health Committee. We're not sure about that, but that's what they're kind of thinking. Yes?
I didn't know anything about this kind of thing, that's why I'm here tonight, but I'm trying to catch up pretty quick. It sounds to me like there's two devices. You have the meter that goes on the outside wall.
Yes.
It's plugged in.
Yes.
But they can't control anything in your house unless there's physically something in your home.
Yes, they're going to give that to you.
So, and then, when the next time you buy an appliance,
yes,
it will have an address.
Yes.
That you will have to plug into this smart grid, the address of this appliance.
No, you just plug it into your wall.
Yeah, but they need, in order for them to know what that appliance is, you need to have a handshake with the owner.
In that smart device, we'll have a code. That's like saying my TV will be different than yours.
So the,
Plug and play.
yeah.
Plug it in.
Yeah.
So it's going to know that the air conditioner is 01, and the refrigerator is 02, and the toaster is 03.
And it'll be really specific between mine and yours.
That's why they were paying the $35 to buy your own appliance and replace them with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So this is part of the Smart Sense EPA.
Yes.
All
Right.
the things that's going on.
Yes.
So if you don't buy appliances that connect to this thing, they can't control it.
Well, that's why I'm trying to keep our appliances what the thing is. And I don't know how they're going to try to push you to do this, force you. They're going to get you retrofit into your sockets. Your sockets will be retrofitted.
Oh, so they're going to run the signal through your power line.
Yes. So I'm trying to keep my old appliances. I'm thinking, maybe that's a possibility that I can somehow hook something up that they won't know what I'm doing. Because they're actually going to be able to tell how many people live in your house and what room you're in, what room you spend the most time in, and they're going to be able to, how much company you have, when you go on vacation, everything. I want to cry, actually. I'm so disturbed by this. So,
But right now, a lot of this has smart meters because we don't have meter readers anymore. I mean, they just drive down the road and it reads. So we already have that signal on the outside of the house.
Yeah.
We're on board with RF everywhere.
Yes.
But now we're going to have the signal on the inside of our house.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes. And, you know, they tried to do this in Lewistown. They gave us, a power strip. So under the green agenda, they sent us green light bulbs and a power strip. And they wanted you to connect everything in they told you things they wanted to connect in. They didn't want you to connect your refrigerator because because they weren't ready to power down your refrigerator yet. So they wanted your computer and all sorts of other things into the power strip, and then you plug it into the wall, and then they would power it down when they wanted to.
So they'll read the signal through your wall.
Yes. And
The only issue with that, I don't know if anybody in here knows about that, but like in Europe and all, they use it's 220 everywhere, right? So,
yeah.
But it's not AC. You know, here we have AC, so you can actually reverse the polarity, and a lot of electricians do it by accident anyway. If the polarity is reversed in your house, those devices don't work.
Well, then maybe we should do that.
Oh, yeah.
And you
They
know
don't
what?
work. You'll have to physically do each circuit individually, which is cost prohibitive out there.
Well, now that you mentioned that, and we have a friend her name's Kay, who lived with us. She just built a summer house, and her husband did that because he was worried that the government would be able to sell how much electricity. She said he put it on backwards or something.
Yeah.
So that people are doing that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
If I knew how to do that, and I might take some courses, I would probably do the same thing.
You might burn your house. I'm just kidding.
No, that's a possibility.
That might be more risky than me.
Yeah. I don't know. I would like to take some courses and find out what other things there are available.
I see where this is all going.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Where's it go?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Control, right?
From 30,000 feet.
Right.
You know, you can't have, everybody in Quakertown can't have a smart car. Can't have an electric vehicle. You would bring the grid down just by everybody having a smart car.
Well, right, they're going to tell you when you can use it.
We don't have enough juice. We don't have enough line size. We don't have enough anything
Well, and you're right.
to handle all this. So
Yeah.
they're going to try and play the piano with the electrical grid and say you can do this down, this end, and this end, and this over here, and hopefully they're going to figure it out. The reality is,
It's going to be like Obamacare.
yes,
And really it is. It is. It's going to be like Obamacare. And we're still going to be paying for it.
Well, they don't want us.
We're going to be paying for it like we still are now on our electric bill.
yes.
Right.
But we're not going to get any benefit. We wouldn't anyway. Wouldn't get a benefit anyway. But we're still going to be paying for it.
Right.
And they're still going to be putting in money, all this green money for stupid stuff that isn't going to work. Yes?
Are you familiar with Catherine Albrecht? She's done a lot of work on RFID and smart meters. She has if anybody wants to look her up on the internet.
Okay. What's her name?
Catherine Albrecht, Albrecht.
Okay.
And she's done a lot
Good.
on smart meters.
Okay.
So if people want to look that up, you can get a lot of information.
Okay, did you hear that? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there on smart meters.
Okay.
K.
Catherine with a K.
Catherine with a K.
Catherine with a K. There's tons of information out there. Okay. Let's keep going. There are similar bills, companion bills. There's companion bills in the Senate. Repeal of the smart meter mandate. 816. 817 is consumer consent to share information. And then 818 is consumer smart meter usage. So we really need to get on our legislators. What they're not telling you, this current communication infrastructure is too limited, like you said. It's very limited to support high-speed requirements and the broad coverage that is needed. but they're still charging you for it, and they're going to tell you that it's going to work. That's what makes me mad. It's horrible. Does not provide the network open architecture necessary for grid enhancement and to grow, to make a modern grid. Things that they are not telling you, the fires, natural disasters, storms. Ed might want to say the cost of windmills. If they're putting in trying to put in windmills. Windmills use electricity, and I don't want my smart meter trying to pick up the windmill electricity and charging me for it. Because what, 80% of windmill electricity is sold at a cheap rate out of the country. I don't want to pay for somebody's electricity. Okay, so also electric cars. You know, you're going to have to pay for your electric car. Holy moly. Additional upkeeps on the grid, they didn't tell you that, so remember those things when you talk to your legislators. Obviously, the electric company and the transmission, everybody else will have control of your life but you. Agenda 21. I do want to go over this because this is important. Privacy and cybersecurity concerns, loss of privacy and identity, and theft in hacking. This comes from the National Institute of Standards and Technology from 2010, and they were very, very concerned about privacy and hacking. So in here, they said that they did not recommend a smart grid, they did not recommend smart meters, and they did say that the smart meter, the measurement was going to be, the frequency could be once every minute. And it would be in real time, and communication would go over long distances, and these long distances anybody could hack into. So they were very, very concerned about this, and they recommended it not be done. But along came Obama, who doesn't listen to anybody, and voila, we have more money poured into the grid.
You mentioned Carol Browning.
Carol Browning.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know who she is.
You'll find out.
Okay.
Start looking her up.
I will look at. I will. Thank you. Okay.
You'll understand why we have all this mess.
Okay. More privacy concerns. Let's go over this because this is really important. There is a pharmacy, and I want to say it's not Wegmans. What's the other pharmacy?
Walgreens.
Walgreens. Walgreens could not get rid of people's information. So when you came in and you said that you, whatever you bought, your prescriptions or whatever, Walgreens could not get rid of your information appropriately. Okay, so the government said, when Congress reviewed all this, they took that lawsuit and they said, okay, there's precedents here that we're concerned about people's information. So they looked at Walgreens and they used Walgreens as a reason why we should not have a grid, because it would be similar. They could not say that your information could be stored in an appropriate area and that it would be secure. And that, so they said, no, 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 we do not want smart grids because of the fact that they're concerned about security and hacking. But unfortunately, they don't care about what Congress said. They're going through with this.
Another lie.
What's that?
Another lie.
Yes.
You're saying the Congress said no?
Yeah, it's a congressional study, yes, that they were very concerned about the grid and the smart meters and the fact that this information could not be secure.
When was that done?
I think it was 2010.
And what did they do to correct it?
Well, they said no grid. They said no, 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 no grid because we're really concerned. But then you see, they built a building for your telephone conversations. So the same thing should apply.
Sure it does.
But, you know, if they build a building for your conversations, well, they can't promise you that your electric information's not going to get out, and they can rob you knowing when you go on vacation or where you live, when you go to work. Unbelievable. And the roads that you choose. So this was really important. I wanted to point this out. Don't know by your smart card. Let's go over some of the health problems, and I gave out a handout. were health problems on there. So they said that switching the power supply, the meters emit sharp spikes. And that Congress reports that every few seconds you're going to get sharp spikes. And they consider it to be dirty electricity. And these sharp spikes it seems that they don't affect a lot of older people. There are people with these effects, but they affect small children. And they like growing bodies. And it seems that women that are pregnant, these radio frequency waves cross the blood-brain barrier. So they're getting into these children, and they're coming up with leukemia, a lot of HDAD, a lot of these children are having problems. So a lot of adults are having problems, but it's more with these growing children that these radio frequencies love growing bodies. So that is a major concern. The American Academy of Pediatrics asked that Wi-Fi be removed from schools because Wi-Fi has the same radio frequency waves as smart meters, and so they've asked for them to be removed. I haven't heard much about that yet, but I'm trying to keep an eye on that to see what's going to happen. And that's why we're also thinking of going into the health committee with these bills, because they are health problems. Matter of fact, I don't want to give away the movie, but at the end of that movie, a few people pass away. And they are college kids. Okay, so you'll understand why there's a problem. Bring Kleenexes, because I was there. And my elderly mother watched this, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs and crying, I can't believe they do this in America! So it is, you need to watch that, you'll understand.
This is Mr. Obama's change.
Yes, yeah.
CHAIN.
Yeah. Constant pulsing of high frequencies and RF function can interfere with smart meters, other electrical appliances, as well as baby monitors, pain pumps, wireless insulin pumps, pacemakers, and much more. They cause DNA cellular damage, cell mutations, degenerative diseases, and damage to vision and clear thinking, and they cause leukemia.
Is this documented someplace?
Yeah,
right online?
Well, I gave a handout.
Your material has
Smart meters cause fire. Fires lack of both sides of the meter to communicate with each other, and we just got our local fire chief, just got involved with us, and he emailed me. He said that he called it hot sockets. The problem was hot sockets. So he left me some other information. Sometimes it's old. Your house is old, the wiring is old. These smart meters are not UL certified. There's a lot of problems with them. The ground fault interrupters, arcing. There's like tons of things. Poor technology. So tons of problems with them. There's a fire. I'm sure you've seen this on TV. Here's what he told me. Okay, this is what he said to me. Forensic evidence suggests the problem is known issue commonly called hot socket, a case where the blades of the socket receptacle are not matching. Not matching good electrical current due to spreading corrosion and other insulating effects. As a result, the current flow encounters higher resistance at contacts, causing excessive temperature rise and possible flashover. So, and the thing was that I asked him, well, I should start over. Maine is having a problem because they're fighting these smart meters, and Maine, the representative of Maine used a policy, or I want to say a letter that Texas wrote. The Texas Lieutenant Governor had somebody that was not qualified to review these smart meters, to look at the health issues, to review the smart meters. It was actually Homeland Security. He hired somebody from Homeland Security
Yeah.
to look at these smart meters. He didn't hire anybody in health. So I got a call from Maine, and they said, would you please write a letter to the Lieutenant Governor in Texas and say, what are you thinking? Why would you hire somebody from Homeland Security to look at these smart meters? Because the Homeland Security guy said, well, I don't see any problem with them. And then put out a statement. And the statement was used by the Maine representative saying, hey, look, we got something from Texas we found online from the governor, the Lieutenant Governor from Texas. So they said, please write a letter stating that you think this is stupid too. He didn't use anybody in health. He used Homeland Security. So I went to our local, well, actually I reached out to everybody I could. I actually called the Texas Fire, the Maine Fire people, I don't know what it's called, their state fire department, right? So, because I just went to everybody in Texas that I could find. So the guy told me in Texas, most state fires, state fire companies or overboards do not keep track. They don't have the capability to keep track of where fires come from. When it comes from a smart meter, a non-smart meter, he said that we don't keep track. They call in and tell us it's a fire. We don't ask. He said nobody really cares or asks. So we don't keep enough. They don't keep enough history to separate whether it's a smart meter fire, whether it's this fire, that fire.
Insurance companies, absolutely.
Yeah, they do.
So I was like beside myself. Okay. Well, okay, I looked up on the insurance line because I didn't call anybody, but I looked that up and I couldn't find anything. So I went to our own fire people in our own town, and the guy that lives in our town is like our state director or something, because we have a fire school in our town. Lewistown has the National Fire School. Everybody comes to our town. So I'm like, okay, somebody in our town has to know. So that's what he told me. So because they said to me, somebody said, well, there's no more fires from smart meters than there is any other fire. And they were debating me on this. And I said, well, you give me something to go on that says that an analog meter causes more fires or as many fires. So they couldn't because there's no data out there, and they were just trying to piss me off. So, I wrote back and I said, you don't even know what you're talking about because there's no data. And so, at least from that, at least from the fire schools. So, okay, anyway, yeah.
The guy that came out to my house, but anyhow, he's the one that told me about the fires. But he did say, he said there was the first generation meter,
Yes.
and that was having suspicious or suspect fires, and then they quit doing it for a while.
Right, they called it off, right.
Yeah, and now the new ones supposedly don't cause fires.
And when they say that, I'm like, really? Because a lot of them come from somebody, maybe your home is old or there's old wiring. So how do they know it's in your house?
That would be a whole different issue. But inside the smart meter, there is a contactor, which the old meters don't have. The ability, unless you had one of those off-peak meters.
Yeah.
Okay, because that has the ability to turn it on and off.
Yeah.
Okay. An regular analog meter has no, it's just the blade and the blade out, and that's it.
Right.
The smart meter has a contactor in there. If you don't pay your electric bill, they can just happy.
Yeah,
We'll
which
just
they've
turn it
done
on,
to people.
bang.
Yeah.
Whereas to have it shut off now, it's just analog, they actually, because you have to come out to the house and move the meter.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've had contact from people who said that, was a lady in Pittsburgh there who had her electric shut off. Might have been her water. No, I think it was her water. She had her water shut off because she didn't want a smart water meter. And they turned it back on. The attorney, she got her attorney and they turned it back on. And she had to fight locally. She went to the commissioners locally and they told her she had to have a smart water meter. She said, I want one. And they said, okay, we'll turn it on. So it was like a week. She had no water for a week. And then she won and they turned her water back on. So, you push them and they'll stop.
Well, I denied, the third guy that came out, he told me, well, you'll get a letter, and if you don't get it, they'll shut your electric off.
And that's a possibility. And that's a possibility.
And my gas generator just turned on.
Yeah, right. That's true. And it's a possibility because there have been people, but they stand by it. Don't take my meter. They just stand by it, and some, now, especially PICO, are saying, okay, they're backing off. I know that Paula that helps us, Paula Stiles, I don't know if anybody knows her. Yeah. Okay, well, Paula had that problem. She walked out and said, I don't want to meet her. He said, fine, I'll put you on the bottom of the list. He gave everybody else in the area a meter. He just said, okay, well, fine, I'll put you on the bottom of the list. If you can be put on the bottom of the list until we get these passed, you're good to go. So try it. Yes?
But in Texas, you know, you can try that. But in Texas, people have been arrested by the police, taken off their property in handcuffs.
Yes.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, that one.
The woman had her neighbor film her.
Yes.
They absolutely treated her like a criminal.
Right. You know, she won that.
Yes, but it happened.
It happened.
And the police took the side of the utility. So it's a big battle out there.
Oh, it is, and that's what we tell them. We
Be
also
prepared.
Yeah, because look at your local ordinances because they won that. They won that because of their local ordinance.
When are they going to mandate control of indoor?
She should have won it.
Well, these, I'm not sure exactly, but every time you buy a new appliance, you're getting a smart meter in your appliance. You're getting a smart disc in your appliance.
As of when? Anybody know?
Well, 2015, all these are going to be in now. They changed the date because we're fighting them.
Yeah.
But the appliances are coming as new appliances come. Like I had my air conditioner wasn't working, and I got a new air conditioning, and with the new air conditioning came that smart meter.
Central air?
Yeah, central air. With that new air conditioning only worked with two of the thermostats. The smart meter thermostat or the low-end thermostat. And that's where I told him, get that out of my house. Get it out, and I'll take the low-end thermostat. So
your radio device was in the thermostat? That shut down the unit?
Yes, right.
That makes sense.
Yes. Yes?
How many of the smart meters in your home do you need? Do you need only one to make the grid work?
Yes, only one.
Only one?
Only one, it'll search everything.
Right, wherever.
It'll pick up everything.
Okay.
Okay, so we should keep going. Okay, as I said, I didn't tell you this, well, I kind of did. Be aggressive with yard signs and road signs. Ed and I make these signs. We go to people's houses. We ask if we can put them in their houses. We go on highways. We put them everywhere and anywhere we can. And we're always afraid the cops are coming to get us, but who cares? We write a lot of letters to the editors. Tons of it. Anybody that will listen, we go to. So please do that. If you need a copy of a letter, we can get one. We can write one for you. We'll help you any way we can. Call your legislators and educate them. I'm going to tell you, they do not know. And they listen to one who says something stupid and the other one learns something stupid. So you have to be more knowledgeable than them to tell them that what they're telling them is a complete myth. The ethics committee, people asked us to go. The ethics committee did not work. Okay. We have a lot of meetings at the Capitol, and we do a lot of citizens lobbying. There's also a petition site that you can go to. Thepetitionsite.com, and just type in Stop Smart Meters in Pennsylvania. That would be very helpful. Check compliance with the National Electric Code. Do some of your own research. If they call and, say, is it UL certified? Have you checked with the National Compliance Code? See what they say to you. Put them off as long as you can. Local ordinances, check your fire code. Check all local ordinances in case you do go to jail. Like those people won because they needed to get a court order. Those women won because they needed to get a court order from the judge to actually have her arrested on her own property. That's why she won. We have been contacting the homeowners, our homeowners, or your homeowners insurance, which they know nothing about this, so call them and educate them on them. And say to them, I'm getting a smart meter, would you pay for my home when it catches on fire? See what they say to you. They're going to be like, what? No. And then so they'll say, we don't own it. We don't own that smart meter. It belongs to the electric company. And then you say, electric company, are you going to pay for my house? Say to that person that comes here, are you going to pay for the fire? Oh, no, we don't own it. So you know what? I say, well, you don't own it, you don't own it, then I own it, and I'm taking it off. Yes? Oh, go. Can we go here first? Go ahead, sir. No.
You want to go first? I'm trying to wrap my brain around this.
Okay.
Okay?
It's a lot.
So it's very, very depressing because you're saying it's like a virus that has overtaken us.
Yes.
And you're saying that if you've got a new this or a new that or a new that in the last few years, you've got a smart meter in your home, you don't even know it, right? Is that correct?
No.
No.
You need a
I could have
meter
one.
outside.
We had a meter outside replaced because of a problem, and I never thought about it
Does it
until
have
I
the
came here
wheel
tonight.
reserve,
It
or
could
does
be
it have
smart.
the digital
It could be.
readout?
So in other words, if I'm trying to keep myself away from smart meters and be pure about this, whatever way you want to put it, it's insidious enough not to be. You're not able to do that.
Right.
Apparently, you buy a toaster and it's there. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So now, if you turn around and get the legislation to repeal this, what good is that going to do us? Because then we're all still having these appliances with these meters in our houses.
No, they won't work without the smart meter. Right.
No, but we have them. We all have them.
Yes, but that's why the other bill was to get it removed, to repeal it, so that you have an opportunity to call and say, remove my smart meter, I want my analog.
At whose cost?
We're going to get into that.
But I'm sure it's not going to be theirs.
No, we're going to get into that.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure this thing out.
Well, I should tell you now, they want to charge you $34 to put back your analog meter. Some states are saying, no, you're not charging us anything to put back our analog meter.
But that's not in the bill.
No, it's not in the bill.
The only thing in the bill at this point is to repeal that act.
Yes, to get
So
that.
that's one step.
Yeah.
But we're still all infected.
Yes.
Okay. So to clean us up, you got to get rid of all those smart meters. Now you got to figure out where they are.
And the appliance.
That's what I meant.
So the appliance is going to constantly search for the smart meter.
Right.
If it can't find the smart meter, it's going to be sending that RF
I built my house 5 years ago.
So you're still going to have as much RF in your house if you have a smart meter or not.
So there's no way to clean it up.
There's no way to clean it up unless you buy used appliances that don't have that radio button.
But see, that's where we're hurting. When they realize that we won't want these, then they'll stop making the smart appliances.
So there's no hope.
There is.
What's the hope?
We only have 15 minutes left.
There is. Okay, wrap it up.
That's not hope.
Okay.
Let's let Lisa wrap up her presentation here.
No, that's the other thing. Okay, I wanted to tell you there's refusesmartmeters.com you can go to for that letter. Okay, there's Ed on this. Where is that? That's in Harrisburg. Okay, so we're doing a lot of work. There's our yard sign. So we do our own yard signs. This is in Harrisburg too. There's a picture of a smart meter. I thought we had one of Godshaw. I guess I don't. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I do. I thought we had a Godshaw sign. Oh, shoot. Okay, anyway, we put a lot of Godshaw signs. Godshaw, and then it said, stop smart meters, identity theft, and we went down the whole highway with everything that they cost. So, please do things like that. Because if we could turn this around, I mean, we have a lot of fighting to do. This is Agenda 21. This is not easy. Freedom is not easy here. We really have a lot to do. This is not just like, I've been fighting this for, what, a year and a half, and I'm sure, yeah, longer. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Hey, three questions.
Okay.
If you have a smart meter, it seems like you can't get it removed.
Right.
Okay, you cannot get it removed.
Well,
can you negotiate for a less intrusive meter?
Well, I don't believe that there's a
like a power line, instead of the type that piggybacks that this guy was talking about from meter to meter to meter.
Yeah.
That gets read by the power line or gets read by somebody driving by or something, or you know, but whatever would be less intrusive. Is there such a thing as a less intrusive?
They tell you there is, but there isn't. There is. You'll see that in the movie.
What about Stetzer filters and things like that mitigate dirty electricity while you have a smart meter? Is that something that you're familiar with?
No, I'm not. I haven't looked into that. But that's a good idea. I will look into that. that's a good idea. I know that people are coming up with things. I haven't had a chance to look into them. I just was on a call and somebody said that somebody made something to get rid of that. So maybe that's what they're talking about, and I just haven't had a chance to talk to that person. Okay. Yes, that's the last question? Okay, go ahead.
Are the appliances, you say, like the new appliances for are they putting out radio frequencies just when you plug them in? Normally?
Power cord.
Well,
You read it right through the cord.
Cord.
It doesn't have
I'm
to
not
be
saying,
Wi-Fi.
I say if you don't have a smart meter, but just an appliance, is that putting out radio frequencies?
No, because it's not, there's nowhere for it to go. It'll go through the power cord. But they will, you know how you, like here, I always keep a little thing on there so they can't break it and hack and look through this. So no, your appliances are not.
The power cord is not going to work. The power cord is not reliable. I can't believe they're using, it's hard to believe they're using traces. I don't
Well,
think that's reliable.
it's a smart disc in there, but it goes through the power
Yeah,
cord.
the pathway of the wire in your house is not reliable enough.
Well, yeah, you're
Especially if you
right.
have an older house.
Yes, but that smart meter is sensing that little disc in there. It's always
Right, what
searching
I'm
for that little
saying
disc.
is, it's just not going to know that you have a new refrigerator, say, because that refrigerator won't be able to make the connection to the meter, because the wiring is not compatible with the signal that the smart meter and the refrigerator are using.
That's why they're going to get you a fridge. They're going to give you all the fittings you need.
That's why
to do all this.
That's why I thought they would go short haul wireless. That's the easiest way. That works all the time.
I don't think
And
they
it's very
think about that.
expensive. For 50
Yeah, well,
bucks.
that's it.
I don't think they. I don't think they.
They'll have an address.
Yeah.
And now your address and the guy next door would be the same address. But if they're shutting down refrigerators, they're shutting everybody. So they're going to say shut down address 325, and everybody there can just turn it off.
It'll be like maybe three on the aggregator might be these 3 men, and on another aggregator maybe those 5 people.
Yeah, no, I get that part. Yeah, it's a repeater. Everything repeats back to a main repeater that pumps it out. I get all that. I'm just very skeptical about the wire part of it. I think people are going to be okay, a lot of people, because it's not going to work.
Well, I agree with you because they said that there's so much on the grid that they can't even do. But the idea is charging us to pay back
It's
people?
this big idea, and some company getting rich off it.
That's right.
That's what it is.
That's right.
A bunch of people that don't understand anything about this.
Right.
That are buying into the program,
That's
allowing
right.
this company to make a ton of money.
Right. And we're stuck with these, and they give us health problems, and we're paying for them, and they're not going to work, and our electric bill is going to go up, and they're just going to tax us more and make us pay more for stupid stuff that doesn't work. I agree.
I mean, reality is, if you don't want to pay your electric bill, then shut some stuff off.
Yeah.
But that's my decision.
Right, and it
It's not
should be
their
your decision. That's right, it should be your decision, and that's the problem. It's now, because the
The control
government.
part is the problem.
Yeah, I agree. I show up.
My first-
Oh, somebody, you know what, somebody wanted something from me. Wait, and I said, I remember, how to find out, how much money, that was it. Okay, hang on. It was how much, you know what, I probably can't get on the internet here, huh? All right, who wanted to know the website to find out how much money your representative took on different issues, or from different companies? You wanted that? Who wanted that?
No, I said, you go to the FTC.
And there's a website that keeps track of that. Is it Watchdog? It's watchdog.com.
You can actually research that right through your representative's website because they have to declare their donations. And I tracked it with somebody that was running for governor recently. So you go through their website or just go on the state website. But we got to wrap things up here, folks, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Can you go back to the slide that has your website?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, make sure you jot down her website. Is it also on your material, Lisa?
I'm not sure. It might be on some of it.
May not be on her material there, so obviously, folks, there's a lot to learn in this field, and the more people who are actively researching, you're asking good questions. What are the answers? Are there answers?
Yes.
The more people that are actively researching, especially people who actually have some understanding of electricity and all that kind of thing, you know, the more we can pool knowledge.
We need a lot of help. We need help like you, Emily. We will take you. We need research help. We need people to be on this like you would believe. So please, please, please. We have people doing research. We're trying to get a lawsuit going. So a class action lawsuit, somebody's working on that. We need to go down to fight the grid down in DC. We need help. We will take help, please. I beg of you.
Yeah, so just sign up. Woo, there goes electricity. Thank you. I guess we overloaded it. It's a madness to rise. They're shutting us down. Well, thank you very much, Lisa. Please wait a few minutes because we've got to wrap up a few things here. But thank you very much for coming all this way and for all the time you poured into this. Let's give her a
About windmills, and I forgot.
Oh, maybe we should have you back sometime, Ed.
We're fighting that.
Ed was going to talk about windmills, and if there's anything you can put out via email, I know the folks would be very interested in that. If we could stay here longer, we would allow this to, you know, go on and be able to answer all those questions and include all that. But the library is very, very strict, as librarians always have been, about kicking us out right on time. We do have until 9. So if you want to ask questions of these folks here, that would be great. Before you go, if you can just give me about 5 more minutes, I do want to go back to what I kind of introduced before as we're looking down the road for CCG, what we're going to be involved in, these action groups. What we're talking about tonight, all the questions you're asking is how can we act, what can we do? And that's where we need to be. We need to be finding out what to do and then doing it. It would be great if someone in here wanted to form an action group for smart meters specifically. That's a big enough issue that it'd be great to have, you know, somebody kind of in charge of just a group of few people, you know, to a number of people who want to be actively involved in getting out information, reaching out to those who need to be informed, all that kind of thing. So if you are interested in that, please indicate that. Now I'm going to pass these around. This is a form that we passed around in November. It is, we just called it Community Connection, CCG Community Connection. And if I can have somebody start this around for me. Somebody want to pass these?
It's just information that if you would like us to be able to help connect you with people in your community in relation to whatever issues interest you that affect our communities.
It's just a way to connect you with people who have the same legislator, to a way to communicate with you when your legislator needs, we need to bring pressure to bear on that particular representative or that particular senator. It's a way to connect you with others in your community when election time rolls around. So if you have not filled one of those out, we would appreciate that. At the bottom, there's a place you can check issues, and these are these local issues that we can have an impact if we take organized, regular action on. And it's Agenda 21, Common Course listed, Second Amendment. If you're interested in smart meters, please add smart meters. You can add whatever you'd like there at the bottom. But that will help us to find out what your interests are and connect you with others in our group who have those interests. And then we all have busy lives, right? She's talking about the government knowing how many people are in your house and how much electricity you use. We have a very large household. I have 11 children. So we would probably be at the top of that list of risks to the whatever electric grid, I guess. But the the way that, what helps me to take action after I leave this place, because we're always inspired to do things here, then we get out there and we have our busy lives, and do we do what we intend to do? Sometimes, maybe some of you are better at that than I am. But what helps me is kind of to be accountable to somebody. Have somebody I'm working with that you can, kind of bounce back and forth. Were you able to talk to so-and-so? I talked to so-and-so. For instance, Common Core. I actually did go and talk to my elementary school principal. He had no idea and he's a very, very well-educated, great principal. Really had no idea what Common Core was all about. So these action groups are designed to kind of help connect you with people on these issues. And what I have asked the leaders of the Common Core group are Kathy Bessler and Sandy Slater. And what I asked them today to do was come with two things: a sign-up sheet. Back there on the left-hand side, that table back there will be our action table. It'll be set up for every meeting. You can go and access it when you come in. You can look at it when you go out. But tonight, we asked them to come with a sign-up sheet and then with some kind of a handout that would help you to take some action between now and February. Then when we gather again in February, we'll be able to kind of give reports of, what anybody did and what the reaction was, whatever, as well as those updates and an action item to take care of right then and there on the spot and that kind of thing. So Sandy or Kathy, whichever one of you, do you want to say anything particular, or do you have those? The handouts are just available back there. If you don't need to introduce it any more than that, that's fine.
Well, I didn't make a lot of handouts only because, I made 14. I can certainly print out a few more. What our intention was tonight was, for those that are interested in working on Common Core, we'd like to get accountability. So Sandy came up with a flyer. I just didn't print a great deal of it because the idea is if you're going to, number one, educate yourself on the websites. It's and also we will have more literature next week well, it'll be there for next month. That people can educate themselves and there'll be more information. But what we'd like is I think what I would like to see is that if you give it to somebody, it's like any other big issue we have going right now. Common Core people, what can we do?
It's trying to break it down. Make it smaller so you can actually do something.
Well, right. So what are you going to do? And our thought was, pretty much, if you can give it to somebody that you know and say, please, 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 would you spend some time, look at these websites? It doesn't matter who it is, if they have kids, maybe it's somebody you know within the school system, and get back to them and say, did you have a look? What do you think? If we can't open people's eyes and get a reaction out of them so that they see the alarm that we all see on these huge issues.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. So we're trying to.
There has to be some feedback, and the whole point behind feedback, if somebody takes one of those sheets and they inform themselves, they give it to somebody they know that has children or whatever, and say, please, take some time and look at some of these sites, watch Penn video, whatever it is. I'm going to talk to you about it in like 2 weeks. But you have to have people, because people have to take the time to look at things, and then they'll be riled up, and you might get a rise out of them. They may say, well, I didn't know this was going on, and that's what we need. The only way we can affect anything with Common Core here at this state, at this time, we have Paul Clymer, who is a great guy on some issues, but he's not seeing this one. So how are you going to do it if you don't get people to understand what the issue really is about Common Core? You have to wake them up. You have to, get them stirred up, and they'll show up here wanting to do something. They'll hand it on to somebody they know who. It's got to be grassroots.
Yep.
It's got to be, and that's what we came up with is some sort of an accountability. Don't hand it to them. They're not going to do anything. Ask them again. Did you look at it? Did you look at anything? And maybe we got to guilt them. We got to wake people up somehow on these issues.
Great. Great, excellent. So that handout is in the back for Common Core, as well as the sign-up sheet if you would like to be kind of on that core action group that will be talking together and working together. Yes, Ed?
Hey, I just want to make a statement on Common Core. Lisa and I wrote an article on Common Core, put it in our paper. You know that sometime during the year, if you have students in school they will be given the survey. Does your mommy and daddy sleep in the same bedroom?
Yes.
Does your mommy and daddy argue a lot? Does your mommy and daddy have guns in the house?
Yeah.
That right there should be enough to get you wound up about Common Core.
Yeah, and there's great resources online for that. Also, Agenda 21 is our other action group. I am currently the leader of that. I would love to give that to somebody else if somebody else wants to take that leadership. But I also have a sign-up sheet in the back if you'd like to be on the Sustainable Development Agenda 21 issue. I also have a handout with just a few items that I'm asking you to take action on between now and our next meeting. The first one is to pick up some rat cards that were produced by Sustainable Freedom Lab. Our friend John Anthony gave us a fantastic presentation on Agenda 21 back in November, which we should have posted on our website, I hope soon, Bill. That's in the works somewhere, I think. But John Anthony has a website, sustainablefreedomlab.org, and John, if you'll stand up, he has these rack cards, and if you wouldn't mind going to that back table, John, when everybody is dismissed then, those cards will be available. If you'll just take one or more of those, I'm suggesting 5 so you can hand them out to some key people on your town council, and then just educate yourself on the rack card, and then I'm just asking you, attend your town council meeting this month. You know, maybe shake a few hands, start a relationship with some of your folks there, jot down a few notes about who's who and who you think you might be able to influence or who might be more approachable. After you've read his card, you'll know some key phrases that indicate Agenda 21 items. You can jot those down. The first time you go, don't mention Agenda 21. Don't try to preach to them. Don't try to educate them. The first time you go to your town council, unless you're a familiar face. You know, if they know you already, agree. But if you haven't been there, first develop those relationships. So this is nothing too scary, folks. You don't have to say a word. Just sit there, you know, take a few notes or whatever, and then communicate back with me. So take one of those if you're interested in that. And don't forget that if you'd like to sign up for the March for Life bus, see Sandy Slater. Also, don't forget that our treasurer has deep pockets, and we would appreciate that support. And after our February meeting is going to be basically 2 things. I think that we might be showing this. How long is this?
Please show
An hour and 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Okay. I'm not sure we'll be able to show the whole thing, but perhaps we could show part of it and then do the other part.
So you could do first 10.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll promise you that we'll at least show one section of this, maybe 2 sections. So we'll split the meeting that way because I know you folks want to see this as much as I do. I get to see it first, but you can see it if you come back in February. And then I want you to know in March, we're going to have speakers here on the right to work issue. That is heating up at the state level. They are gaining more and more support through the legislators for right to work legislation. Daryl Metcalf asked me to put that at the top of our items this year. I'm sure some of you know Daryl Metcalf. He's the most faithful conservative legislator. So that's March. April, we're going to do, again, the action groups, and maybe we'll do the second half of this video. May, we're looking at doing a debate on Property Tax Elimination Act, because there actually are conservatives on both sides. Most conservatives are certainly on the side of eliminating the property tax. There are those who have very great concerns about taking that control from the local and moving that control of money to Harrisburg. And don't ask me which side is right. I'm still learning. So that's what we're looking forward to. We have some DVDs back here. You can see Jerry Byer. What are they on, Jerry?
They're all of our past speakers.
Okay, past speakers.
We have 21, we have property tax, we have the threat of Islam.
Excellent. So you can see Jerry Byer. There are some free, if you have kids or grandkids, free coloring books back there that Lisa brought from Tea Party Patriots. Please help yourself to that, and anything at this table over here is free as well. Thank you so much for coming. God bless, and hope to see you next month. Second Tuesday of February, whatever that date might be. Second Tuesday.